Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Larry at Heisenberg Forest Products, and we're starting right by our woodshed this afternoon, or this evening, I should say. So I do have some wood in there, not quite full yet. I've got a bit more room for probably another two face cords, so that's kind of the plan for the woodshed. So I need to get working on that soon. The real reason I'm here is this. Check this thing out. Holy, eh? So I'm gonna pull out the just gonna try to get close to this bees. Well, it's a wasp's nest. I was gonna get rid of it, but Louise convinced me that I should leave it, so I'm leaving it for now till I get stung. I got stung once already this season, so kind of sucked. So this is our pool house, and the wasp nest is right up there. It's a big one. It's quite the art piece. So starting at the back here again, I think that's where I started last week. So these are Louise's hostas, and I don't know all the flower names, but I just know they're very nice. She's keeping up on those. So nice flowers here. Little bird bath. So this looks really cool. The other flowers I want to look at tonight are these yellow ones. They just opened up, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, and look at those. And I'm not sure what kind of flowers they are. I should have asked Louise before I came out here. So nice flowers here, some nice flowers in our flower baskets. So this is really turning out pretty nice. So these guys are all done. This is a rock that I put there about 20 years ago. So my brother helped me out with that. So another nice flower here. So you can tell I haven't done any work this week again, and I can see some algae here. Whoops. Some algae in my pool. I don't know if you can see it on the video. So I'm going to get Adrian to vacuum the pool this weekend, and I'm going to put some algicide in there to try to get rid of this algae. There's always algae. If there's algae in the pool, it's always at this end for some reason. So it's on the deep end on the right hand side when you're facing south. So these bushes, we're planning to get rid of them somehow, or make them much smaller. So haven't done that. Haven't taken off the slide. So there's so many things I haven't done because I've been busy working in my wood yard. Another nice flower here. Look at that, all in full bloom. Very cool. I see my buddy Colin on there. Hey Colin, hope you're having a good summer. Here's another nice rock that I put there 20 years ago. There's another one in the back here, and this one's really big, but it's covered with these bushes. So we're gonna get rid of those maybe this summer. We'll see. Louise has trimmed this plant right here, so that looks better. So a few little things I need to do. See my buddy Lucio on there. My old boss Lucio. Hey buddy, hope you're having a good evening. I know he's sitting by the fire having a cigar and drinking probably a whiskey. So these are the I'm drawing a blank, squash. So Louise planted some squash here, and she's built this little trellis for them to grow on. We've got Julienne's tomatoes right here, so they're doing good. There's some flowers on them now, and Louise's flowers are also blooming. So the idea behind planting flowers by those tomatoes is to have some bees and wasps so they can pollinate. Right here, I think that's also, not sure what kind of squash. So she's got spaghetti squash and butternut squash. There we go. So here we have our radishes. So she took some of those out already, and I've had some for lunch today that were nice. And right here another squash, and I think they're butternut squash. And right at the end, this is Julienne's pepper plant, if I remember right. So that survived the heat. So let's walk away from the pool into the backyard here. So those flowers here, remember those flowers, those that have been following me for a while, I almost killed them at the end of May because I forgot to water them when Louise was away. Well, they're slowly coming back. So that's nature. And actually those red ones over there, if you look at those red ones over there, this one not that great yet, but the other one's blooming. See, look at that, pretty cool. So as of this week we can use our fire pit again, so we're gonna try to get out there soon. We'll see. I gotta go to my brother's before the end of the day to take a look at my pigs. I'm helping him out with that. So let's walk back here. So here are the hostas and our lilac tree. Didn't produce that much this year, so but still a nice tree. So there's some hostas that are growing by the shop. They're growing by the John Deere. See, that's my flower right there. My beautiful John Deere. I work with that machine almost every day. So let's walk towards the greenhouse here. Let's have a look at the what's in there. So the greenhouse, I built that last spring in my shop. This thing is as solid as a shit brick house. It doesn't move. So in here, oh, it's not too warm in here. It's 25, see? About 25. So Louise planted some basil right here. So it's growing really nice compared to last week. Oh, there's my wife asking me if I'm ready to go. And she planted some chives in here. Those aren't doing too well. And we had some tomatoes in here that didn't grow. I think she might have pulled them out. Oops, I'm losing my just give me a second here. I just need to rotate my device. There we go. Alright, so parsley in here, that's not growing. Oregano, no luck. Spinach, there's one. And we had spinach in this here, and we have a tomato plant. Not sure how that happened. And another plant which looks like almost a cucumber, so I'm not sure. So that's what's in the greenhouse right now. So let's walk out of here. It's going to be a shorter video tonight because I need to motor. Look at my my corn. So I take care of one thing. It's the corn. I love planting corn, and this year, look at that. It's looking nice. I keep it clear of weeds. I weed almost every day. I go up and down the rows and take the weeds out. So it's they're growing. So we should have lots of corn coming out of this patch here. So this patch measures, I think, 15 by 17, and I planted a seed every 6 inches, and I used a tape measure to make sure they were 6 inches apart. Luch is probably laughing right now thinking, yeah, that's my former VP. Anal. Anyways, let's keep going here. So here Louise is growing some, I think they're called baby pickles or baby cucumbers or something like that. So, and she's put some something for them to start growing on. So this is my business sign here. Pretty proud of this sign. My daughter designed this for me, so it's been etched in a piece of metal that's probably 3/8 of an inch. So we kind of redid it this year, so it's kind of sticking out a little more. But again, look, Louise has her flowers here to get the wasps and the bees to pollinate. So we'll see how that works for us. So that's our another area where we have some vegetables growing. And then let's walk to the I call it Louise's garden. Where the corn is that's my garden this year, and this here is Louise's garden. And I know she was working in there today, so she's put some She's put some straw in there. She cleaned out the chicken coop and she moved the straw into here. And we have some carrots. Lots of, they didn't grow well this year for some reason. We've been having some issues. I'm not a big carrot fan anyway, so I don't mind not having any carrots. Beans. Now the beans, so these here were planted in the greenhouse or in the house compared to the next row, which was planted right out of a seed. So the difference we're finding is when we plant them in the house or in the greenhouse, they tend to grow a little better. So there's not as much, like there's a couple misses there, but if you look at, like, let's say this, you see, so the slugs get to them, even with the slug bait, and they eat, as soon as it comes out of the ground, they eat the flowers and then the plant dies. So, and here's the tomatoes. Oops, I'm just gonna get my, there we go. So tomatoes are doing well too. They're nice. They've grown quite a bit since last week, but we've had some rain, so that helps. It's a lot better to have the natural rain than to try to water. So we have tomatoes on there already. So look at that, some nice tomatoes. So we're doing good with the tomatoes. I think we have 12 plants and one cherry tomato, and then two other kinds. So this, the corner one, if you've been following us, this is the cherry, and you can see the little tomatoes coming on there. So that's pretty cool. So I noticed that she's put in these stakes to try to get them to stand up straight. So there's going to be a whole bunch of tomatoes in that patch. I don't know if you remember last week I talked about this little maple tree here that turned red, and a couple of reasons. One of the reasons was not enough rain, but then there was also an ants hill here. So look, see, the ants have moved on, and these not sure if it's gonna survive. The leaves are not quite dry yet, but I think I made a mistake when I tried to get rid of the ants. I used some vinegar, not thinking about my tree, and you see how the vinegar killed the grass. So I'm worried about this tree. We'll see. We'll leave it till next year. In worst case scenario, I'll have to plant another one, because I have a whole bunch of maple trees in this area here. So there's about an acre of land here that I mow most of the grass on my property. So I have about 5 acres. So I mow all the grass, but I planted some trees here, hoping they'll end up looking like these big trees over there one day. See how these are, and they're not much older. There's not a much of a difference. It's just these trees by the garden, they end up getting watered all the time, so that's why they're growing so quickly. So maybe next summer I might get a water tank and put it on. I've got a little trailer, and I could tie that to the trailer and then pull it around with my quad, and then just water those trees. And I bet if I started doing that for a few summers, they grow pretty quickly. See, there's another one here. So once these trees become big enough, it'll put a lot of shade here. And the thinking was, you know, if the kids come back with a camper, then they can park it here and they'll be in the shade, right? And you're probably noticing the middle right here, there's nothing here. That wasn't planned, but my plan now is to move 2 gardens into here, but make them raised bed gardens. So that's kind of my plan right now. So next week, well, my daughter's coming in the week after from Halifax, so we're kind of getting ready to have her over with her boyfriend. So we're looking forward to some family time. But I need to mow this lawn. See how it grew. So, and for me, mowing lawn, the amount of lawn that I have to mow, I'm looking at almost 4 hours of mowing with tractors, and I use my tractor and my lawn tractor, so it's going to be a busy day. So just showing you these trees here, how they're growing, and they're nice. We pruned them. We pruned them about 6 weeks ago, and it's funny how, see how at the bottom here, it doesn't take long. So that in 6 weeks I had this all cleared up, and it's growing again. So we have 4 trees right here, right by the property line. So see how this tree's a little messy, but it'll be a nice tree once it grows. So it's coming along. I have another one here, so another maple here, and then 4 more along this way. But this one is by far the biggest, the largest tree. So looks pretty nice. So this is my neighbor's trailer. He's moving soon, so I'm hoping he's going to take his trailer with him and get this out of the way. So like I said, I spent most of the week in the woodyard. So the woodyard looks a little rough right now because I need to mow the lawn, but once I get it mowed, it'll look nice. So I'm cutting this pile here. So I've got I got about 20 cords in, maybe 22 cords in. I can't remember. I think, yeah, 20 cords in plus whatever's in that trailer right there behind my truck. So that's what I did this week. I worked in the wood yard. Next week I might spend more time in the yard just to clean things up before we get Jacint's visit. So, oh yeah, the other day, oh actually I did some work this week. I was just thinking I did some work in the gardens. Sunday we went strawberry picking. Weird, I got cut off for some reason. I think my phone's running out of juice. Anyways, just to add here, these are the onions. They're doing well. Right in front of the chicken coop. The chickens are doing well too. So again, we have flowers here that are looking nicer. And then we did some rhubarb, strawberry rhubarb stew. So we pulled out a lot of rhubarb. I can't remember how many jars we did. Probably 16 500 milliliter jars. So that turned out really nice. So that's the rhubarb. I think we're done with rhubarb. Like what's left in there is pretty small, unless it grows. I don't know. I'm not a rhubarb expert, and actually this is the first year we have like enough rhubarb to make something out of it. So that's pretty cool. So meat chickens are doing well too. They're growing. So if you're following us, I've got 3 channels. This shows up on my Facebook feed, but I've got 3 channels. So on Wednesdays I do a chicken video on Facebook, and then I upload that to my channel on YouTube. So my chicken channel is called Breaking Chickens. So if you look for Breaking Chickens on YouTube, you'll find my channel, and I think I'm up to about 11 videos. Fridays I do the garden video. So that one, I think this is number 6 right now. So and I do it on my timeline, as you know, but then I download the video and I put that on my channel, my YouTube channel. So it's called Breaking Gardens. And then I have a business video that talks about, you know, anything that we do in the woodyard, and that one's called Breaking Wood 68, because Breaking Wood was taken. So it's called Breaking Wood 68. So this is more or less the end of my my live video. So there's 2 videos tonight. For some reason I lost my feed along the way as I was walking. I'm thinking maybe my phone's running out of juice. I always like to end looking this way. Now this is my pride and joy, our pool and our pool area, and I know we have a lot of work to do to spruce it up, but you know, one day at a time, one summer at a time. We've got some plans for the end there, where that fence is falling apart, and the corner right there. We're thinking about building something there, taking the slide out because it's broken. So maybe next week. Maybe I'm gonna work on that next week. We'll see. They're calling for rain, so we'll see how things end up working out. So I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna send a shout out to my buddy Luke, who's watching here. Hope you're having a good weekend there, Luke. And we'll see you next Friday for the garden video. If you want to see us, I'm planning to have a live video on Sunday if the weather holds up. So that'll be in the woodyard, and then next Wednesday is going to be our chicken video. So anyways, I hope everybody's having a great weekend. Finally, we can the fire ban's done, so we get to have fires again. So looking forward to that, and hopefully it'll hold up that way when my daughter comes and visits, and we can sit and have a nice beverage and chat. So have a great weekend, everybody. Ciao.